All right, I'm going to try to be brief. Like Chuck, I've got a city council meeting that I have to attend. We are actually dealing with our budget as well, so it hasn't quite been as contentious as that of Suffolk, but I still got to go anyway. So what I thought I'd do is start with. Went the wrong way. Like that? That's pretty fancy, right? Yeah. All right. There we go. Always like to start with our mission statement, because our mission statement is really no different than all of those other guys. We are really evaluated on two primary things, and one is capital investment. What type of capital investment and how much capital investment do we get to come into our city on an annual basis, and also how many new jobs are created for our citizens on an annual basis as well. So we take that mission statement very, very seriously, but we wanted to go a little bit deeper, and we looked at a vision statement, and I'm not going to read all of this to you. I'm just going to tell you the key word from this vision statement is the word diversity. What we always try to strive for in Chesapeake is creating a healthy but diverse economy, because we want to make sure that there's not one industry or one company that can dominate our entire local economy. All right, a little bit about Chesapeake. You know, I have the opportunity, the privilege really, to sell the city of Chesapeake as a business location. And I must tell you, there are many times when it's an easy sell. It's an easy sell because we have an outstanding dynamic community. Last year, the 24/7 Wall Street Wire, a Wall Street internet publication, said that Chesapeake was the 6th in the country. That's an amazing accomplishment. Of course, Virginia Beach is number 1. We don't talk about that. It's all about Chesapeake. It's all about Chesapeake here. But in addition to that accolade, we are consistently ranked as one of the best cities to live in, one of the best cities to raise a family in. And lastly here, you'll see that Fitch Rating, one of the bond rating agencies, gave Chesapeake a AAA bond rating, which is the highest possible. We feel very honored to receive that type of award during an economy like this. So Chesapeake has a lot of good things going for us. In terms of economic development, you know, we're always trying to bring in jobs, bring in investment. It's important for me to let you folks know that we do take a targeted approach. These are the list of targeted industries that we go after, and it's a pretty broad list. And again, the reason that it's somewhat broad is because we want to be diverse. We want to make sure that we have opportunities for just about every type of industry possible. Now, another reason why we have this list, and I guess I should say how we came up with this list, is because these are the types of companies that we already have in our city that are thriving, that are doing well. So we wanted to make sure that, you know, my boss used to always say, what you want to do is learn how to spit out the bones and chew the meat. This is the meat for us. This is our bread and butter. These are the things that we do well with. So we want to continue to grow that and make sure that we continue to get these types of companies. Now, these are the companies that we spend our resources and our efforts going after. Now, if any of you have a company that's not on this list, we like to have them too, but we're just not going to spend a lot of time chasing after them because we've determined that these are the companies that work best for us. I want to tell you a little bit about how we do what we do. The first aspect, and probably the most sexiest aspect of economic development, you never thought you would hear sexy in economic development in the same sentence. But one of the most attractive aspects of what we do is the new business attraction. That's when a new business comes to town. You know, there's a ribbon cutting, photo ops, newspaper stories. Everyone likes it, and we like it too. And we've been somewhat successful with it. But I will tell you, it's probably the most labor-intensive part of economic development because, like some of you, we hear a lot of no's. We make phone calls, we reach out to people. Sometimes they don't respond, and many times when they do respond, they say, we're not interested. So it takes a lot. It takes a lot of money, it takes a lot of time, because we're traveling the world trying to educate people about Chesapeake and the opportunities that we have. Another important aspect of economic development is our existing business development. We're making sure that the companies that we already have here are happy and that they can grow and expand. You know, as the economy turned south, I guess around 2008, we realized that the companies that we have in Chesapeake, you know, just like I'm here in economic development in Chesapeake, there's so many economic developments in Boise, Idaho, or St. Louis, Missouri. They are looking at our companies, and they want to take our companies out of our city and take them back home with them. So it's incumbent upon us to make sure that we reach out to our existing businesses and make sure that they feel the love just as much as those companies that we're trying to court from all over the world. Workforce development is really a very important component of what we do, because one of the things that we hear from site selection consultants, the first thing that they look at when they're making a location decision is, am I going to be able to get good quality people to work for? So workforce development is something that we take very seriously. We work very closely with the community colleges, with our public schools, with the four-year institutions within the region to make sure that our citizens, really citizens of the entire region, are equipped with the skills and the knowledge to truly compete in this new economy. Product development. Product development is critical because no matter how great a city Chesapeake is, and we all know that it is, but if you don't have the product that that company wants from a real estate perspective, they won't come. If I'm dealing with a company and they say we need a 50-acre site on the waterfront and I don't have it, I got no shot at getting that company. So we spend an awful lot of time working with our commercial real estate community to make sure that we clearly understand all of the options that exist from a real estate standpoint, and where we don't have a particular product, be it a certain type of building or a certain size site, we try to look at strategies to develop those. Because again, we like to have something for everyone. So that really helps us be effective in our efforts. And lastly, our SWAM initiative. SWAM stands for Small Women and Minority-Owned Businesses. We started this initiative several years ago because we realized that that segment of our economy is usually undercapitalized and they really don't have access to all the information and resources that they should. So we developed a program where we particularly go after these type of companies here locally and throughout the region to make sure that we have educated them as to what opportunities are available, be it in terms of working with the city or working with the state or federal government. We want to make sure that we've made them aware of all the financial options and the financial resources that are available for them, be it special incentive programs or special loan programs that may be out there as well. All right, I'm going to talk a little bit about what's going on in Chesapeake. Now, Chesapeake is an extremely large city. We have about 353 square miles, and I will tell you, when you're trying to market and promote a city that size, it can sometimes be difficult because you probably know that Western Branch isn't a whole lot like Great Bridge. And Great Bridge is nothing like South Norfolk, and South Norfolk is nothing like Hickory in Chesapeake. So what we've done is we've broken the city up into different business districts. It gives us an opportunity to focus and highlight the strengths of each of those business districts when we're reaching out to companies and consultants and trying to get them to locate in Chesapeake. I'm going to start with Western Branch, out in the western part of our city. You know, Western Branch is a part of that I-664 corridor, and of course, that corridor really came into its own during the 90s after the completion of the Montgomery-Merrimack Bridge Tunnel. To us, the 664 corridor really represents the hub of business activity for Western Tidewater, if you will. And from a retail standpoint, with over 2 million square feet, the Chesapeake Square Mall area is really the retail hub of Western Tidewater. There's a significant amount of opportunities available in Western Branch, and one of the things that we have going for us from a Chesapeake standpoint in that section of our region is the incomes. At over $88,000 per year. Our household income is one of the highest in the region. And we're really trying to stress retail development and making sure that the residents out in that area have all of the retail services that they want. For many, many years, our residents in Western Branch would have to go up into Suffolk just to go to the movies. They'd have to go into Harborview and attend movies there. I'm pleased to say that just last year, actually the beginning of this year, in January, we opened up a brand new Cinemark theater at Chesapeake Square Mall. Some of you may remember the old movies 10. Well, that's gone. We've got a brand new state-of-the-art theater for the folks in Western Branch and Churchland, and maybe even Harborview. These types of development cost a lot of money, and sometimes we as the city have to get involved to make sure they happen. So, real pleased that that turned out the way it did. Something that you all may be interested in is this property. It's called the Pine Grove property. It's located on the west side of Portsmouth Boulevard. And when I talk about this, I have to give a little bit of good news and a little bit of bad news. Bad news is there was a rezoning for this property that went to City Council earlier this year, and unfortunately, it was rejected. The good news, though, is that we have talked with the property owners here, and they plan to bring back a new proposal that will hopefully be a little bit more stronger from a commercial standpoint while still providing a vast array of residential real estate opportunities. This site here is over 250 acres. This section right here we've kind of allocated for commercial development, and everything else will be residential, from apartments to condos, townhouses, and single-family dwellings as well. We are hoping that sometime in the latter part of this year, there will be a new proposal to breathe some life into this section of Western Branch. Next area of the city I want to touch on is South Norfolk, or more affectionately known as SoNo. It is truly the urban redevelopment area for the city of Chesapeake. It's just south of the city of Norfolk, and it's uniquely positioned because it's 2 miles away from downtown Norfolk and about 5 miles away from Greenbrier. So South Norfolk sits in the middle of two of the largest business and development hubs of all of Hampton Roads. So we try to market it as a wonderful location. If you have a business that wants to serve both north and south, it's an excellent opportunity for you to locate your business. One other thing I do want to point out about South Norfolk is that we created back in 2005, I believe, a tax increment financing district in South Norfolk. We call it the TIP. What it does is it gives us the ability to reinvest monies in that area. Right now, we have about $115 million of public capital projects that will strengthen the infrastructure in South Norfolk and make it more attractive to businesses and people that want to live there as well. One of the best opportunities for development in South Norfolk is the Gateway at SoNo. This is located right on Poindexter Street as you come off of I-464, and it really provides, again, the gateway into this area of the city. The first phase was completed, I guess, a couple of years ago. The residential units are loft units, and those have been somewhat slow, but they're starting to pick up in this particular building. But there will be 5 additional buildings that will be built as a part of this project. Most notably, in this building here, this is the phase 1, the new South Norfolk Library is going to be going in there. Design is taking place right now, so the city is really trying to take an active role in breathing new life into this historic section of our city. Moving on, we're going to go to Greenbrier. And Greenbrier is really our bread and butter when it comes to development in Chesapeake. Greenbrier is the #1 business district in all of Hampton Roads. We have over 54,000 daytime employees, people coming into Greenbrier on a daily basis to work. Greenbrier is probably one of our most diverse business districts as well. In addition to the 18 million square feet of commercial real estate space, that's retail, it's institutional, it's office, it's industrial. We also have about 4,000 hotel rooms in our city. So it's really a hub for the hospitality industry in Chesapeake as well. And you can see with our incomes of a little over 81,000, our incomes are strong in that area, and that really helps support the retail that we have within Greenbrier. We also created a TIF, tax increment financing district in Greenbrier as well. The reason for that is a little bit different though. In South Norfolk, what we were trying to accomplish was really to facilitate redevelopment and make sure, take some of the old things and make them new. What we're trying to do in Greenbrier is taking some of the not so old things and keep it fresh, keep it relevant, make sure that Greenbrier remains an attractive place for people to live and work. To that end, we have about $150 million worth of public projects that we're planning for Greenbrier, and this kind of describes some of it. We're doing some interesting pedestrian walkways. One of the things we hear about Greenbrier is people just get in their car and they drive all over the place. Where we're putting in sidewalks, we're putting in lighting to make sure that people can feel safe and secure as they walk or ride their bike around the Greenbrier area. We're trying to also improve the signage in Greenbrier. We had a consultant come in a little while ago, and she said, you know what, I got off of Greenbrier Parkway off the interstate, and I really wasn't sure where to go. Where was the park? Where was the conference center? Where was the retail district? Where was the entertainment district? So one of the things that we're going to do with the Greenbrier TIF is create a new signing package where people will know if they're at the corner of Volvo and Greenbrier, they'll know this way to the conference center, or this way to the mall, this way to the hotel row, if you will, on Crossways Boulevard. We're doing a lot of other things to just, again, try to make sure that Greenbrier stays relevant, stays fresh, and continues to grow and prosper here. One of the best development opportunities in Greenbrier is Greenbrier Square. We also call it the VACO site. It's just down the street here at the intersection of 64 and Battlefield Boulevard, about 55 acres, and it really represents a unique opportunity, not just in Chesapeake, but in all of Hampton Roads, because there are very few sites remaining along the interstate that give you this type of access and this type of visibility off of 64. So we're working with the owner of that property, working with some other developers. We suspect that at least 2 million square feet will come in on this site. Again, it will be mixed use. You'll have a little bit of retail, a little bit of office. There may even be some public facilities within that site, and a tremendous amount of multifamily residential will be on this site as well. And this is probably the best development opportunity we have in the northern section of Greenbrier. In the southern area of Greenbrier, probably the best opportunity for business is the Oak Brook Business and Technology Center. This is located down off of Kempsville and Clearfield Avenue, kind of right across the street from Greenbrier Christian. This is a very, very important site for us because it's actually owned by the Economic Development Authority here in Chesapeake. As you can see, it's about 120 acres, and it really offers a variety of real estate options for businesses. Part of the park, we really set it aside for small office warehouse or small flex space. The other portion of the site has been dedicated to Class A office space. In terms of some of the tenants we have, CHKD has a medical office building there. Probably some of you just read last week about the FBI coming to Chesapeake and building their new regional headquarters there. Now, some people say, well, why is that important from an economic development perspective? I mean, it's just a government facility coming in. The good thing about the FBI coming to Chesapeake is that while they are a government entity, they're actually going to lease that space from a private developer. So that is a project that will probably end up somewhere within the $50 million mark when it comes to the capital investment. And the good news is all of it will be on the city's tax roll. So, I talked earlier about getting that private sector capital investment. That's a great opportunity for the city of Chesapeake. This is kind of a layout of Oak Brook. This yellow section kind of represents the area where we are set up for small flex office warehouse type of product. And the purple section, why is it purple? But the purple section around this lake is really set up for more of your Class A office space. And hopefully, if our friends next door in Virginia Beach can make a decision about the Southeastern Expressway, we might actually have an additional amount of acreage to sell out here. Any chance for them? All right. Next, I want to talk a little bit about Great Bridge. Great Bridge is the center of the city. It's where our government complex is located. City Hall or Taj Mahal, whichever you like to call it. And probably the best opportunity for development in Great Bridge is Edinburgh. Edinburgh, of course, was birthed maybe 10 plus years ago. Tremendous amount of residential and retail opportunities there. We were really excited last year when the Walmart finally opened up. Retail is well situated out there because it's right off the 168. And as you all know, we get a tremendous amount of traffic, particularly from May to September of folks going to the Outer Banks. So we're really hoping to capture more of those dollars, get those people to pull off before they hit the tolls and spend a little bit of money here. In addition to Edinburgh, we also have some unique redevelopment opportunities in Greenbrier. I don't have a slide, but I'll tell you a little bit about actually in the heart of Great Bridge along the Intercoastal Waterway, right there at the Great Bridge. We've got a very unique opportunity to go in and redevelop that area because I'm sure, like me, many of you have probably been stopped at the bridge every hour, on the hour, and during the spring and fall, you see those boats, those beautiful yachts going by. And, you know, right now, we really don't have an opportunity for those yachts to stop in Chesapeake and spend money. We're looking at some redevelopment plans for that section of the city because, you know, boaters, yacht owners have a lot of disposable income. And we really want them to park some of that money here in Chesapeake as well. The last business district that I'm going to talk about is the College District. And some of you may be saying, College District? Well, the reason we call it the College District is because the true anchor of this area is Tidewater Community College. The Chesapeake campus of TCC is actually the fastest growing campus in the TCC system. They have several thousand students coming in and out of this area every day. When we talk about the College District, not only do we have the college, but we have new retail that's anchored by this Walmart right here, and we have a tremendous amount of land available for retail and residential development in this area of our city. But the thing that's really going to make this area work in the future is going to be a brand new Dominion Bridge. Like the Great Bridge, I've been stuck at this bridge more times than I can count. And it is a real problem. But I believe within the next 60 to 90 days, we are truly going to break ground on this. A brand new $400 million new Dominion Bridge. The good thing about this bridge is that it will be a fixed span. You can see that it is going to be a pretty tall bridge. No more lifts, no more drawbridges. It won't lift, so that's the good news. Bad news, well, I'm told. But we are trying to do everything within our power to keep that toll at a minimum for our citizens here in Chesapeake and in the rest of the region. This bridge has the potential to really impact the future of economic development and development in general within the city of Chesapeake. Historic vehicle counts, over 30,000 vehicles use this bridge per day. Future traffic counts are over 62,000 vehicles per day. Even with a toll, we suspect that to be the case. Again, there'll be unrestricted water access because the bridge will be tall enough where we won't have to do any lifts to accommodate boats going through the canal there. And it'll also make improvements from Cedar Road tying in with Route 17. And I know that's been something that a lot of people have wondered about because The reason why we put a lot of stock in this bridge is because as it ties in with Route 17, it's going to make all of that acreage, all that property down in the southern end of our city, it's going to make it more valuable, more developable. So there's going to be a lot of development pressure, but we're going to try to make sure that we maintain, to the best of our ability, some of the rural character in that area of the city as well. I'm going to try to wrap up here. No, I didn't mean to. I didn't forget Deep Creek. I can't hit everything though. I got limited time. Limited time. We love Deep Creek. We love Deep Creek. All right. We'll talk offline. Real quickly, I'd be remiss if I didn't talk about international business in Chesapeake. I told you diversity was one of the hallmarks of our program. International business diversity is key as well. Over 46% of all of the region's international businesses are here in Chesapeake. 18 countries are represented here within the city of Chesapeake, and that's something that we're real pleased about. Lastly, this is one of the ads that we run. We talk about, when we talk about jobs, we talk about investment. Over the last 3 years, I think over $500 million of private sector capital investment has taken place within the city of Chesapeake, and almost 2,700 new jobs. Chesapeake is not alone. I think a lot of the cities here in Hampton Roads have experienced good years, even during a down economy. We think it positions us very well to move forward in the future.